Are you
Okay.
guys admin then in this too as well?
So where's Katie? Because is Katie on?
That's a great question.
You got to ping her because she was in charge and she was like, we're opening up 15 minutes. Anyone who needs to be able to present, I'll add them. Like,
There you go.
I can't present.
So you gave it to me, Keith.
Okay.
So give it to the other Bobby. There's two Bobbies.
I don't remember which one I just gave you. Okay. Shoot. I just changed it. Let me try this.
Nope, that shows it to me again.
And now I need to quit because I hate GoToMeeting. I'll see you guys in a second. Sorry,
All right.
it's making me stop and come back in.
Gotcha. Did that one work or no?
I actually can change it, and I changed it to him, but he's not on now. So
Okay, I think I'm back.
you have
Can you
the option.
present now, Andreas?
Pardon me?
Can
Let's see
you
here.
present now?
Show screen.
Yeah, do that and see what happens.
Okay. Go to opener. Like, okay. Show my screen. How's that?
Yeah,
Can you
you're
see?
good. You
You
got
can
it.
see my screen, can't you?
Yep.
You got it. I see it.
All right. Okay.
So I would
All
do
right.
the
And then let me switch. How's that? Is that just one slide? Yeah.
It's switching.
Okay.
So let me open it up to everybody. I think, can they hear us now or no? I think they're all muted. But I think it started already, right? Yeah, no, it says stop recording, so it's recording already. So I think we're live. You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, everybody on the call. I know there's about 25 of us, 25, 30 of us on the call, so I apologize for just technical difficulty with GoToMeeting. My name is Keith Deb. I'm the Director of Sales for Emergency Reporting. And I'm excited to introduce First Due, who we've been friends with them for a while, got to see them from pretty much inception up, and it's just a really cool, great product, and I think you guys are going to like it. I'm going to pass the baton over to Andreas at First Due, and he's going to take it from here. But again, any questions, just Andreas will kind of guide you the whole way here, and then I'll be in the background if you need me. So good luck, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Keith, thanks so much for the introduction, and good morning, everybody. It's Andreas at First Due, and with me is Kevin Collier. Kevin is our National Sales Director, and I'm one of the co-founders at First Due. What we're going to do today is run through a quick refresher, just a very high level on what is sort of included or made up within the First Due platform. But we're definitely going to focus a lot of our time here on Community Connect, which is our community engagement tool, which I think is a big driver of why everyone is on the webinar today. So we're really excited about that. We'll take a few minutes at the start just to frame what we're going to show in the demonstration, and we're going to save a bunch of time at the end for questions. So with that, we're going to get started. So at First Due, our mission and what we're really all about is creating a safer environment for our first responders and the residents, and really broader community that we all serve. And it's ultimately towards a goal of helping to end first responder and civilian injuries and death due to a lack of information before, during, and after a call. And the way we accomplish that is by taking a step back and reimagining what pre-incident planning and preparedness really can be and should be, as well as community engagement and response. So we're tackling this in 4 components of the platform today. So the first one, many of you are likely all aware, but Connect. So we know where a lot of critical information about the building, and really every single building that y'all are responding to day in and day out, property information inside your county assessor, permit inspection data inside the building department, your own occupancy data inside ER, for example, fire prevention information, and open data like within ArcGIS and social media. So we're going to have every single address point or building or structure in your system, and we're going to pull the data from these otherwise disparate sources and tie it all together against every single address point so that you have essentially an automated pre-plan for every single structure in your response area from day one of signing up with First Due. That's going to, fill a humongous information gap for your residential buildings, which you would otherwise would be figuring things out when you get there, right? But then all that information is just immediately available to you in a very quick and easy to consume format. From there, now that you have this great baseline of information for all buildings, right, including your target hazards, you're still going to obviously want to go out and pre-plan and inspect your target hazards. And so we have a best of breed data collection and mapping tool that can be used on any device to build the most simple or complex multiple level or single level pre-plans by your own staff. So you've got all this great data from different sources. Your own staff have enhanced that information further to build some amazing maps. And now, what if we were able to engage the community both on the residential and commercial side? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Community Connect is our community engagement component, just fully native to the platform. This is where residents will create household life safety profiles, provide information which we'll go into more in the demo, but really everything from members of the family or occupants to functional needs to access and utility info, automated burn permitting, wildfire self-risk assessment for the home, etc. Even surveys to help deal and manage your COVID-19 response and analysis. On the commercial side, very similar in commercial business owners can create these life safety profiles for their staff, employees, et cetera, but also keep their pre-planned data up to date themselves. So emergency contact info, FDC locations, hazmat, all of that, documents, pre-plans, et cetera. We'll show you that in the demo, but they can also, with potential target hazard leadership or facility managers, you can actually collaborate on pre-plans. For example, on an all hazards type response and have everyone working off the same playbook. And then even a step further, setting up trusted contacts. So think about, security guards or front desk personnel, facility managers to be set up to receive an automated text message that can be customized the moment units have been dispatched to their building. That can really help aid in helping you either get to the incident or provide care to the patient faster, navigate a complicated building quicker because they're actually waiting for you when you get there to help assist, or even when it's a false alarm, knowing that within seconds of actually being en route to further reduce wasted on scene time. So lots of really great things there, and then sort of rounding it out and making it very operationally effective so that we're always going to be connected into CAD. So the moment you're dispatched, the information is sitting within First Due and you have that data available to you either on our mobile responder apps or within any mobile responder or CAD or MDT application that you're using today. So I'm going to now jump into the demo and kind of walk you through some of these screens. So I'll make this bigger. And guys, where I'm going to start is I'm in the web and Community Connect, right? So it's a very local feel. And one of the very first components of Community Connect is going to be the sign-in page for the public within your jurisdiction. So this is a live example of the City of Fort Lauderdale's Community Connect page. Just logged into their website. This is a page that we create for you, branded specifically for your department. So clearly this is the cityscape of Fort Lauderdale. This would be either photos of your fire department or your city, county. We create all this for you and obviously you collaborate. But this is where you would actually drive the public to sign up, but also to learn more. So, and again, we provide, suggested copy for you to put into the chief's message. This is where residents can sort of see how it works. How do I actually get an account? What type of information can I provide? Information about our needs, our pets, the people inside our structure. How secure and safe is my data? How's it going to be used, right? And then any media content that gets done, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and how our marketing team actually serves and supports you, full stop, from making a great launch and getting the awareness out to your community, and then also helping you, bring in local news stations, which happens almost 100% of the time, to get a great, press opportunity and great news that just sits here on your sign-up page. So from there, let's assume that a resident or a business owner came here and decided that they want to log in, or sorry, register an account. Well, that's on the screen. So they would have clicked. You would have clicked either this button that follows you, right, or at the very top, I'm a resident, and it takes you to a registration page. Now, for the interest of time, I've already registered this email address, but someone can come in for the first time and log in through social media, Facebook and Google, or verify an email address and begin to create their account. So I've already created an account here in the demo account, and I'm just going to sign in as Deanna here. And I've already sort of, again, for the interest of time, I've already created, my address and claimed my home, and I've already begun to fill out some information. So what you're looking at here is what a resident sees. It's their profile for the home that they are head of household for, as well as the occupants inside. So I'll show you another interesting piece too. It's fully responsive. So if I shrink this screen down to the size of a phone, everything stacks on top of each other, and it's very easy to use. So it's very sort of convenient and simple and easy for residents to use. All of these little buckets or cards that we call them for information, these are all configurable. So if you're in an area, for example, where you don't do burn permitting, well, you can just, you or us, turn this bucket off and it wouldn't be exposed to the public. Wildfire risk assessment, maybe you're in an area where you don't want to do that, or maybe for some other reason you don't want to expose that. So you're in control in terms of what you expose to the public is the bottom line. We'll talk about the COVID bucket in a bit at the end, but this is where you would click edit and begin to fill out sort of these survey information. Do you have a home fire sprinkler? Does your home have a basement or a pool? Do you rent or do you own? How is your house heated? Anything else we should know, right, about your home? Real simple and easy, straightforward. Adding additional contacts. So this is where I can add different contacts to my home, phone number, name, which can be super helpful, especially in the middle of the night. Functional needs. So anyone, a family member, right, add the name, give an age, whatever you want. Are they autistic or have some other type of condition that we should know about that might help us provide care to the patient, faster and better when we're on a call. Always can add photos as well. And you'll see a lot of that in a lot of our existing accounts, customer accounts. There's a lot of great information. A 59-year-old woman who's a diabetic and lets you know that she keeps her insulin in the downstairs fridge, or a mother with a 9-year-old boy who has autism, and these are specific instructions on how to communicate with that child. All sorts of different use cases that can make the experience way better for all parties involved, right? Pet information, people absolutely love putting in information about their pets. Vet contact info, they're definitely members of the family from the level of participation that we've noticed. And then access and utilities, right? So, we're seeing people put in tons of information, where their bedroom locations are. They want their first responders to have all the information they need to get to their home and inside their home to the places where they need as quickly as possible. Which is, really exciting. We always say, special directions to your front door. So for some of those more complicated condominium buildings, it's great to have pre-plans. Those are super important, and obviously First Do is a leader in that. But we always say that, listen, if you're going to be providing, if you're a homeowner or a resident, you're telling your friends and family special directions, don't use Waze or Google Maps, because it's actually going to take you to the wrong side of the building. Go down this street, and that's the type of information a medic should have, right? So that when seconds and minutes count, we want to help you get to the location as quickly as possible. Gate codes, also where my utility shutoffs are, et cetera. And then burn permitting. So for those of you who do burn permitting or issue them, we actually, our customer fire departments can actually automate and allow the public to self-administer their entire burn permit process. So they can, create an account on Community Connect. You can just point them here and they can come in and so, all of your specific types of permits. Of course, I'm just in a demo account, but the different types of burn permits you have would be here in a drop down. If, if you select, it will show your local ordinance and language that's specific to your area and all the business rules on how you manage burn permits. We have seen them all and support every which way, including collecting fees or accepting payment digitally for burn permits. And there's more to that as well. I don't have it in this demo account here, but for requesting a smoke alarm installation and being able to manage and track that, as well as wildfire self-risk assessment. And then all of this data is actually integrated with Esri's ArcGIS. So very simple and easy to use page for the public. Really, very easy. The web pages are also ADA compliant. Not all of what you see here, but certainly the ones that are released for our customers. And all of that data can, not just be seen here. It shows up in the responder dashboard, which I'll show you in a moment for your crews, but then also for, OEM or really anyone working within ArcGIS, all of this data can be visualized on a map and further analyzed. COVID-19 is obviously something that's challenging just about everywhere throughout the country since February and March. And so a lot of our customers wanted a way to allow their residents to self-report their health status or high risk underlying condition status in a way that would be really helpful to the crews responding. So just an added layer of information that can be really helpful. So this is being made available not just to single family or people living in apartments, but also care facilities. So you can come in and say how many occupants, what kind of building are you, how many occupants are there, show me, just multi-select the different types of underlying condition or high risk occupant conditions that you might have. Has anyone tested positive? Have you been able to get a test? Not been able to get a test, but you have symptoms, you are symptomatic, and when did those symptoms start? And in the background, there is a 14-day clock that's going off, and there's automated communication also back to make sure that the residents, not just for the COVID piece, but for all of this, is keeping their information up to date. Because, and we'll talk about that in a bit later, I'm sure there'll be questions there too. So this is what a given profile might look like. So next question is, well, this is awesome, but how do I make sure my crews in the field have access to the critical information they need? So what we're in here now is the web version of our demo account logged in as a responder. So up at the top, again, we talked earlier about calls coming in from CAD. So we're going to link to CAD in a very, we handle every which way that you can possibly link to CAD. So many of you might use other secondary notification tools or an MDT application, same exact way. I can hide that for a moment, but what you're going to see here is I've got my incident coming in here and we're coding it based on the incident type group. So we know it's a BLS call. I've got my EMS shield. I go to the dashboard and I can quickly get information about what's going on here at the structure. So for the demo purposes, I'm going to kind of focus in on just the Community Connect related data, but I can very quickly recognize there's a dangerous dog. There's other pet information. If I tap on any of these, it's going to give me the underlying data. So I might be on a touch screen or a phone. If I wanted to, I've got that sort of real quick snapshot information. I can also one-touch dial the contact info right off a device if I'm on a phone or a tablet. I also immediately know that there's a burn permit, right? We were kind of talking about before, and I'm immediately notified that there's actually someone here in this house who has self-reported in that time frame that they've tested positive. So these are the alert tiles that are sitting in the background. There's about 600 of them. We create new ones all the time for different situations that customers ask for. And if those conditions exist, the alert tiles pop up. I could sort of bring this off to the side and kind of look at the page a bit more if I wanted to. I also have these map markers. So this map marker would be an example of maybe your crews are responding to this house, and upon arrival, they learn that there is actually someone who maybe didn't fill out a Community Connect profile, but has tested positive, communicates that to you. Your own people can actually drop this icon quite easily in edit mode, which will save time for the demo, so that now you can actually see this on the map. And again, all this data can be securely shared all within ArcGIS as well. Cool, there's a whole bunch of tools, but we're gonna keep this really, focused on the Community Connect side. So we're back on a very similar page now that you saw just earlier, but now we're actually gonna tackle the target hazard or commercial side. So some cards actually look a little bit, still have function needs, right? I've claimed this care facility as my own. I am the owner here. If I want to add another contact, I can actually do that. Maybe I want to add my security people one by one, and I want them to be notified if units have dispatched to the building so they can assist with medics or with firefighters when they respond. And help improve the response time from that perspective. So that's literally how easy it is. When I hit add, there's a automated verification process. The person gets a text message, and they're all set up to receive notifications. Another interesting piece: adding attachments. So I can very quickly and easily come over here and just drag and drop a file. Like maybe it's an emergency response plan. Right? Again, I'm the facility manager or the business owner of this care facility, and I want to update my building's Community Connect profile so that it's immediately automatically available to the crews responding. And I'll just hit add. And so there it is. Other occupancy info. So I can put in the number of staff I have. Is anyone, are any of the following people or occupants on life support systems? We can add that type of data. I can keep my business name up to date, obviously my emergency contacts. I can add access and utility information, gate codes, my utility shutoffs, elevators, where's the elevator room. So I can really leverage my community to help keep a lot of the information I would otherwise be sending my crews out to collect, really crowdsource them to keep this information up to date. Hazmat data. Right, I can do a quick UN lookup just by typing in the chemical, and it's going to automatically populate. I'll hit cancel, and then my fire systems. So maybe it's a suppression system, and my coverage area, whether it's automatic, right? I can add data, or maybe it's just simply an FDC, and I can combination. Let's just say it's on the A side, something like that, and hit add. Actually, don't think I'm logged in here. I got kicked out. Anyway, so an example of the different fire systems you can allow, the facility manager, whomever, to keep up to date. And then when I come over to the responder view, right now I'm actually on this building. We'll go to the dashboard. And you'll notice, I've got my business name at the top. I have my little size up story cheat sheet that's letting me know different particular information about the structure. And I've got different icons that you can see as well. The attachment that we looked at just before. Yep.
Your screen is a little bit behind. I just want to let you know, so you need to let it catch up.
Okay, thank you. You want to just let me know when it's on the dashboard?
You're there now.
Okay, thank you. And just having pretty serious internet issues at my house working from home. So that attachment that we put on earlier for a pre-plan image, right, or an emergency plan is coming here against the record. The hazmat, right? So we've got these alert tiles. Now I know there's hazmat at this structure. With a tap, I immediately know what type of chemical and quantity. And with another tap, I'm right into the ERG on how to respond. All on a single page, real responder friendly. We're even calculating things like fire flow, required fire flow, for this structure in an automated way, because so much of that data required to do the calculation, and we support both calculation types, is automatically generated. And there's an alert tile that pops up to alert you to that if you want to. If that was something you didn't want to be alerted, then we would just deactivate that tile in your account and you wouldn't see it. So I can clear that. And then again, we talked earlier about the multiple levels, and I'll just wait for the screen to catch up. I'm sure it's a little slow, but we'll bring your attention to the left side of the page where you might have multiple levels of the structure. So maybe I wanted to map out the different room levels, right, on the second floor. You can use our tool to do that, which is really cool. We can tilt the map on Google and get a look, and then do a kind of like a quick 360, right? If that works, it looks like Google's imagery is actually not up to date. So in that case, we have another really great integration with pictometry. So I can click here the 360 and click on the building, and hopefully my internet is going to allow me to do that. Let's try refreshing the page. And bear with me, everybody. I apologize for the delay here. But let's go back and click the 360 view. There we go. And it'll probably take a second to catch up. But this is an example of our integration with Eagleview. So you get likely your municipality or the county might have already invested in more recent flyovers. So in the instance, in this case, where that Google imagery may have been out of date, we can always get you up-to-date information either through ArcGIS or pictometry. And now you can do a 360 of the structure right here again in a single page on any device, which is obviously really powerful. Again, all on a single page. We might have a hydrant over here on the right-hand side, and I want to quickly measure what is the distance to that hydrant, which is also can be super helpful. So without going into too much more detail about what you see here on the map, that's the idea behind data on every structure and Community Connect data being managed both by members of your staff at a fire prevention ops, as well as opening it up to both residents and commercial business owners, facility managers, etc. So next question is, that's all wonderful, but how do we drive people to this awesome page that sits on our fire department website? How do we get people to know about it? So it's really done in a handful of ways. So number one, you get access to our marketing team, and they provide you with an entire package, media kit, in order to get the word out. And that's going to be made up of a press release template. It's also going to be full social media. So Community Connect, this is our Instagram page, but we provide you with Instagram, images, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as suggested copy, and as also monthly content, monthly themed content. So as an example, you might have during wildfire season, right? We're going to give you information about that that you can put out. Pool safety in the summer months, Thanksgiving, cooking turkey safety, right? Or fireworks in July, fire prevention month, emergency preparedness month, etc. So we're providing you with all this great content that looks awesome, and all you have to do, this content comes to you via email. It also sits inside our knowledge base. So your fire marshal or PIO will be putting out all this amazing themed content month after month, just as if you had created it yourselves, and just driving, just awesome engagement with your community and really driving better community risk reduction, constantly putting educational content in front of them as well. And then as a result, we also help you reach out to your local media. If you don't have a PIO relationship with local news stations, we've had so many examples. I would highly suggest everyone, go to our Community Connect Instagram page or any social media page, because we're putting up all of the different news stories that local news are coming in and doing on their fire departments in their community. They absolutely love doing stories on them. And we probably have, I don't know, maybe 30 that you can see either on our website or in our social media channels. So especially with everything going on in the world right now, a lot of the unrest, I think, what we've heard is this is just a fantastic way to, from a community service perspective, really, from a PR standpoint to really, put out an amazing enhanced service to the public, but also with a purpose. So driving, community risk reduction, helping educate the public around fire safety and all the things we chatted about, and then giving them a tool that's so simple and easy for them, for the vulnerable members of the community, for the folks with underlying conditions or high risk conditions, right? Making it simple for them to communicate life-saving information with directly with the people who will actually be the first ones to their door to help save them or help with an emergency, right? And then for your crews, not giving them really another application they need to kind of toggle between. No, it's actually showing up without having to think about it. So they get dispatched to a call and it automatically pops up and gives them the information they need in a format that they can consume very quickly, right? That's kind of what it's all about. So Keith, that's what I had planned to run through. We do have time to sort of show what it's like in a mobile responder app. We're 32 minutes in. If there are any questions, Keith, did you want to maybe read off some questions, or is there a place that we can see any questions that have come in?
Yeah, there's questions on your tab. If you open your tab where you can show your screen or not, there's a question section. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it. There we go. So there is quite a few in there.
Okay.
If you can't access, I can read it off.
You know what? I can see some questions here. All right. So first question, I'm just going to go in the order in which they were delivered. So first question was, how do we validate the information provided by residents? So there are a handful of ways to do that. So number one, when they are claiming their residents, you can only have one head of household resident account per address point. We do offer in a different type of account for people who have rental properties where they might have more than one. So it also supports that as well. But when someone is validating the information they put in, in terms of keeping their information up to date, right? This is all self-reported data. So when someone fills out the Community Connect profile, we are making sure that only that one address belongs to that person. If someone else tries to claim it, there's going to be a pop-up and a notification, both to the administrator of the account as well as the person, alerting them to that. What we've seen, in the time that we've had this out, that's very rare. If someone, the other side to this as well is that there are automated emails going to the account owner on a regular frequency. It is a frequency that you can control. But what we suggest is, every 6 to 9 months, an email goes out to the person with a very simple with buttons, have you moved? Is your information still up to date? And depending on their situation, they're very easily able to keep it up to date, or note that yes, I've moved, and they can switch the information and move it over, and then update it from there. If someone, you've got further business rules, so if someone doesn't open the email or ignores it, a different email can be sent, and you can also set it up. It's very configurable, but you can also set it up so that maybe if someone is unresponsive after 3 attempts and 12 months have gone by, it will automatically deactivate the information, because every one of our customers has said, no information is better than incorrect information. There are also some more verification tools in the background, because again, remember, we're always bringing in every single address point from ArcGIS. We're also bringing in assessor data from the county assessor with homeowner information and things like that. Next question, is it possible to have a request section of smoke alarm requests? Yes, the smoke alarm or smoke detector installation card is available. It's coming actually very soon, where you're able to have residents submit for a request, and then on your end there is a notification. You can also see it in the application, and then you can report on it, right? So once you actually have guys go out in the field and install those, then you can mark that as installed and then report on whatever basis you'd like, maybe the city council, maybe to your town board, whomever, on all the work that's been done quite easily. Another question about validate. What is the level of participation for a community? So the level of participation is going to vary. We've seen as high as 25%. What you'll see straight away with how we actually do this, which is very different from some other products that are out there that are more about, the PSAP or the police department. This is really all about the fire and EMS. Of course, the data can be shared with PD, can be shared with PSAP or OEM, definitely, in a very simple way. But because of all the tools that we give you with the Media Kit and the best practice and access to our marketing team, not just to get a successful launch, but also to be ongoing successful. So when you're in the field, fire prevention activities or school visits, care facility visits, county fairs, setting up a kiosk with an iPad to get signups. We give you all those tools, which is why we have much higher participation rates than some of those other tools that might be out there. But again, it definitely varies, community by community. And the vulnerable community, 100%, is what you'll see sign up straight away. And then you also get families and just all sorts of people that want to make sure that fire and EMS know what's going on at their home should there be an incident. Let's see. Is there a way to maintain information accuracy with apartment buildings? Tenants change on a regular basis and may not update their information to show the change of address. So that, Stuart, that would be an example of the automated emails, right, that are going out to keep their information up to date, and the ability to auto deactivate. And don't forget that this is a full best of breed pre-incident planning tool. So our customers and crews, when they're in the field and they might notice something has changed, they can actually update the information in the system as well, not in a way that compromises the Community Connect data, because as you'll see on my screen, I might be actually, Keith, am I sharing my screen or am I sharing the questions for Kevin?
You're sharing your
screen. Yeah.
So we're looking at the dashboard right now.
So we'll always keep the integrity of, perfect. We'll always have the integrity of the data source. So whether it's Community Connect, whether it's pre-incident planning from your own people, and we can manage which information, like a hierarchy of what gets showed. So bottom line is you've got all the tools available to you to keep the information as accurate as possible. In addition, next question, in addition to burn permits, can additional permits be automated? The answer to that is yes, and we're in the process of doing that. You can also manage on the commercial side re-inspections through the portal, but also other residential permits can also be automated through Community Connect.
And also, Andreas, we've had a client who has put all of their fireworks stands into the system as well. So they're managing those, which is another big benefit.
Okay. We have yeah, thanks, Kevin. That's a really good point. Next question is just a logistics question. Someone missed the beginning of the webinar, and yes, you'll get a recording sent to you after. Another question about that. There will be a webinar recording. I believe that will be sent from emergency reporting if you signed up for it. And then this will also sit, I think, on our partner page as well as our website. So we'll definitely be able to make sure you get it. And the staff at First Due is also more than happy to have a conversation or run through everything again. Next question, do the permits from ER move over to First Due and vice versa? So currently the permits from First Due, yes, from ER, they do come across. Just like inspection data, violation data, occupancy data, that information does come across to First Due and then is visualized in the dashboard or on the map for the crews responding. What we don't have set up is for the permits. So for example, if you were automating your burn permitting process through Community Connect, we don't actually have it set up to then go back to ER. That's not set up today. And then is there an integration between this app and emergency reporting? If we enter occupancy data in ER, does any of it populate here? Yes, that was what I was kind of just alluding to a second ago. Your occupancy data in ER automatically comes into First Due and then is visualized in this way. Another cool part, that is the last question we have here, so I might just expand on that a little bit. But if you're, and I hope I'm logged in here, but if you are on this residential call, for example, and I hit edit pre-plan, imagine I might be on a medic assist or a false alarm and I have some extra time. I'm in edit mode. So you can enable your crew to be able to edit on the fly or pre-plan on the fly. So now I've got my, NFPA standard occupancy form on the left-hand side, but notice these unmapped items here on the bottom left. So going back to the question around, well, if I have occupancy data or pre-plan data in ER, it's sitting in text form. I've got information maybe about a Knox box or my gas and electrical shutoffs. Maybe a gate code is in there. Anything that is related, again, it's text sitting in ER's occupancy module. It comes across, it automatically turns into an alert tile on the dashboard that we saw before, but it also creates the NFPA symbol, NFPA standard symbology here, to then just drag and drop it over. And it'll come with the data. This was actually set by Community Connect. I believe these were set by Community Connect, but imagine they were coming across from ER. It would give you all the details that are in ER. So essentially overnight, basically, you can take data that's not super easy to access from the field and make it geospatial on a map just by us turning on the connector. And I'll just hit cancel there for in edit. But the moment you hit edit, and obviously managing, might as well just finish off what you're looking at here in terms of pre-plan. So, you can add additional units here. We've got a whole bunch. These are just like a global list in the demo account, but you can customize your own. Contacts are real easy to add new. And again, this is really simple to use on a phone as well. You can also have multiple levels to the building. So I might want to add, the roof. I hit add. Maybe there's a subfloor. Add and just drag and drop so that they're in the order. And then when I want, now I've got my different floors. So when I go to my subfloor, maybe there's hazmat in the subfloor, and I can come in here and hit edit. And let's just say for some reason they keep a whole bunch of butane in the subfloor. Give it a name. Fill out more information. Quantity. Everything is going to be latitude, longitude, okay, easily shared within GIS. I can add a photo if I wanted to. I can also verify that this was today, and I can set an expiration date, for example. Maybe it was for, COVID-19, maybe it was for a hoarder house or something else. I can actually set this to, expire tomorrow, maybe to review, to automatically remove, or just simply remind me to review it. So you've got real simple functionality there too. But I'm just going to quickly hit cancel, and you can draw and annotate and do a whole bunch of stuff. But let's go back to questions. All right, is a plan for the API to go both ways for those permits future idea? We're always looking to improve the API, Andrew. Today, that's not actually on the roadmap, but it is a great idea. So maybe that's something that we can work in. I don't see why not. Is access to this information logged? Are account administrators able to see every access to a particular address? Yeah, absolutely. That's really the whole point. So you can. Why don't I jump into a live account real quick, and we'll show you something really cool. So I will log out here and just jump into Fort Lauderdale real quick.
And
the
Andres,
occupancy
your screen
organizer.
is still quite a bit behind, so you might want to just give it a second here.
Okay.
And so while he's doing that, I also saw from Stuart on the questions about cost, and that's if you just go to our website and ask for more information, we'll link up with you and get your actual population and give you your cost. So that's for anybody, but it is customized. It's not just a one-stop shop. It scales to all different size departments. And you're on
Yeah.
Occupancy Organizer now.
Cool. So the occupancy organizer is going to have every single address point in your area. You can slice and dice your number of floors. You can say, show me every building greater than, let's say 6 floors and has hazmat, and then hit search. When you get those results, right? I just did a quick search to show me everyone who has a functional need. So I can just come in here, I can turn that off, but I can say, I want to see everyone with a functional need in my jurisdiction. And then I hit search, and it looks like I've got 6 locations here where and I've got all my alert tiles. So I've got contact info for some of these people. I know that they've got certain functional needs. Just, really awesome intelligence. On the commercial side, I can come back and show me all buildings that are greater than 6 floors, and maybe, oops, let me clear that. And I'm probably a little behind here, and I've got maybe I've got 127 of those, and I want to mark them all as target hazards, and I can do that. And that might help me, depending on where you're coming from as an agency, in terms of your intelligence about your area. Some people come in and they use the occupancy organizer just to even sort of get started. And they can sort of slice and dice the buildings in their area and define which ones are dangerous. They can use our risk assessment tool to score their buildings and mark their target hazards, so that now they have their universe of target hazards, and then they can assign them. They can assign them to an individual user, or they can assign them to an actual shift. That's all customizable. And then that person or those people get notified, and you can track and manage. And you can also always see, everything on a map. Show me all those buildings that, meet the search criteria. So a lot of real cool, sort of location intelligence and information intelligence. It's about the actual structures and the occupants of those structures, just to help you be better prepared and analyze and respond to those people in those buildings. All right, let's go back to some questions. If someone signs up for a smoke detector battery or install, does it come across as an event in ER for reporting at the end of the month, or do we need to go to both applications to get a total? Well, in that instance, that information is not flowing back to ER, so that would be something you could just easily handle inside First Due and report on inside First Due. You can always, your data belongs to you, everything's exportable, so if you wanted to export to a CSV or Excel file and then upload it into ER, maybe on a frequency, you could always do that. Can information be restricted? Fire department officers can see the gate code, but not regular. Beautiful question, Sean. Absolutely. You've got tons of permission functionality. So what we see is sometimes there might be sensitive information like gate codes, residential lockout key locations, or even some of the functional need information or certain medical conditions. Maybe I just want my chief officers to see it and not just all firefighters. You can do that. Again, First Due is very much designed for full countywide setups or regional systems where you have all of your mutual aid partners relying on First Due to be notified, route, hydrants, for pre-planned data, everything, right? So you may not want your mutual aid partners to be able to see the data. You might want them to be able to see that there is a disabled occupant, but nothing further. So when they tap on the icon, they know there's a disabled occupant, but when they tap on the icon, they don't have any of the detail. So you can kind of, the short answer is you've got a ton of ability to manage restricted information or sensitive data. Is there drawing software included for creating floor plans? 100%. And I'll just real quickly jump into the demo account to show you that. Why don't I very quickly, because that's something that I think is really powerful that we haven't shown here in the demo. But I'll show you kind of a cool one. Let's just do a hazmat call, and this will be real quick. And this is just in our demo account, so this isn't like a real building, something that we build out that I think demos quite well. Again, over here on the left-hand side, kind of give it a second to load. But here you'll see, 3,800, right? So this is the address tag. So every single structure when you're responding, you actually see the house number right at the top, which makes it really easy to pick out where you're going. A lot of customers will also number the doors, the points of ingress and egress. So if you have, again, a multi-agency or all hazards response, and you're on the radio, everyone's on the same page, talking about which door, right, just by the numbers. And you can easily share this. You get unlimited users across unlimited devices per department. So very often you can make it available to PD so that they can see this. You can make it available to your mutual aid partners, all for free as part of your subscription. But going back to everything you see here, right? Labeling. So like labeling and drawing the line, shading the building, outlining it, west, east, the door numbers, ABCD side. That's all being done with our editor tool, drawing tool, real simple to do. You can also, measure. So you might want to measure the, rooms or measure the exterior, calculate fire flow, required fire flow. You might draw the interior walls or hallways using our tool and assign it to a different level. So I hope that answers the question, Sean, but that's exactly how it gets used. So when you have different floors with different layouts, you just, go into edit mode, you can add a new floor, and then it's a blank screen, right? So here's roof. So roof has nothing on it. So then when I go into edit mode and I select roof, I can go and drop maybe a generator on the roof, whatever it might be. So you can see what you've got going on the different floors. Got hazmat in the basement, right? Click on it, gives me what I need. All right, cool. Let's go back to some more questions, and we have about 8 minutes left here in the demo.
And Andreas, I don't know if you were planning on addressing it, but also our mobile application, iOS and Android apps, and how those do early alerting and all of the functionality.
Yeah, that would be good. I'm just gonna, there's a question here about show us a report. So I'm just gonna show you something kind of cool from a pre-planned list. So think about going through an ISO audit. Every single occupancy will be in here. The business name, I'm just in the demo account, the date and time it was last inspected or pre-planned, who did the work, and the status. So if I come in here and say, show me everything that's in drift view, I can easily see, again, it's all controlled by permissions. So I can actually approve these, right? So I can come in and approve, and now it'll be published for anyone to see, any of your crews. I can edit, I can trash. I can also see the history. So let me come back and actually look at some recent ones with better history. But here with the history button, I can see, all the priors that have been archived and who did the work and when. So if you're being audited, you can easily show someone, pull up an occupancy, search for it by business name, search by address, last inspected, and just get your list. You can also always see them all on a map up here or download to CSV or Excel. So a lot of capabilities there. And if you talk to some of our customers who've gone through recent ISO audits, they're actually it's been super helpful, helping them get full credit as well as bonus points as part of CRR with Community Connect also. So Kevin, going back to the responder app, guys, if you just bear with me, I would love to show the iPad app in just a second. Let's see if I can change my sharing. I'm going to stop share. And yeah, it doesn't look like there's a real easy way here to share an app or use AirPlay.
No worries. We can just kind of describe it real briefly. We've got about 5 more minutes.
Sure.
As we said, and we're happy to link up with each of you that are on with more questions. I did put a link in the chat section that you can get a hold of us. And the iOS and Android apps are available on Google Play and the Apple Store. And then if you have an account, you go ahead and get a login. We'll send you all notifications for calls that you are tied to, and that can be all configured through our application as well. So if you're a fire chief just wanting to get notification on actual structure fires, those are the only notifications you'll get. If you're assigned to engine 1 or truck 5, then those are the only calls that you'll get, or you can set it up to where you see all calls. So we give you the notification of the call. We also give you turn-by-turn directions from where you're at to the scene itself. And then we also give you the capability of seeing all of the units on the screen, and you can see where everybody's at and as they're coming into the scene, so you can kind of help manage maybe who's going to catch the hydrant first or second, etc. So it's a wealth of knowledge there through that mobile responding app. And then it also gives you the full functionality of what Andreas showed you. So you can see the Community Connect, you can see all of the pre-plan information, all of your hydrants, all of your Esri layers. So it's really
Kevin,
a full functioning app.
Yep, thank you for that. And guys, I should be able to, I think I set it up here. I can probably see my screen now.
You can see it now, yes.
Yeah, great. I wonder how I can make this bigger.
It looks great for, oh, I see, on the lower left.
Yeah, I just want to make this thing bigger. Okay. Well, I think you probably get the idea, but you've got your incidents down the left-hand side. I'm on an iPad. We were on this location before, and you can respond. You can very quickly measure distance. Maybe it's your nearest hydrant. All the stuff Kevin brought up. I click the FDC. Maybe there's data on the FDC or the NOx. Doesn't look like we put information there, but we can very quickly go to that dashboard, right, for the Community Connect data that we were talking about earlier. I get my quick snapshot about the building. And I can, toggle the floors like we were talking about earlier, right, using our tool, ground. If I wanted to pre-plan this building, I would literally just, I could be on a call, and it's just that simple. 1, 2, 3. Might want to drop, again, maybe it's an alarm panel right here. And then I can make this a little bit bigger if I want. If I'm doing a huge building, I can actually clone these guys, which is nice. And then just come in here and add additional information. It's going to just access, if I want to take a photo, right, it's just going to access my camera, which is really simple, really easy. And use photo, right? And update. Everything is lat longed. So I'll hit cancel, guys. But all the response functionality, calculate route, quick route, my call notes, units responding, that quick building cheat sheet that lets me know what I'm getting into. It's all available right in the response app. And then it's integrated with ArcGIS. So, I might have, different imagery that I want to switch between. Or maybe I've got, water main data and I want to bring in those layers. It's all really simple and easy to do. Again, all right within the app. So there's also a chat feature. You can actually communicate, right? Just like IM, right? And you can actually do that with those security teams when crews are responding. So imagine being able to alert them the moment the calls come from dispatch, and then that person, maybe it's a facility manager who knows that that's a false alarm in the fire alarm, and can actually communicate that via text message that shows up right in the chat of the mobile app. So there's a lot of really cool, exciting things going on there. We are at the top of the hour. I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any further questions. All right.
It doesn't look like any more questions, Andreas.
No more questions. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be sure to get the webinar recording to you at the end.
Andreas,
and thank you,
thanks
Keith.
so much. I appreciate it. You guys have an awesome software, awesome system. And thanks for showing this to our customers. And I'll talk to you both pretty soon, I'm sure.
All
Thanks
right, very
much,
good.
Keith.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, guys, take care. Have a great day.